Welcome to On the Hill Podcast.
Okay, all right, and we're back for the next episode of
On the Hill.
On the Hill.
And today with us we have a good friend of mine.
Good friend.
Decent friend. He's building it up. Now brother-in-law.
Yep. Correct, yep. Son-in-law.
Yeah, son-in-law for him. Supporter of the podcast. We have Tommy Wampler.
Hello.
Welcome, Tommy. What's going on?
Nothing much. Swing by on the podcast.
Yeah, so we had our pilot last time, and we decided to have our first guest here, Tommy Wampler, with us today.
Yep.
And he, a couple things about him. Obviously, he just got married to my sister. What, 2 weeks ago?
Yep, 2 weeks ago. It's been a long 2 weeks.
Is she, God. Well, somebody's sleeping outside tonight.
So when so it's been a long 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like kind of the honeymoon phase is still going. You know, it's just finally dying out where, you know, you're realizing this is it forever.
Yeah, as well.
Well, I had to live with her for 18 years, so
welcome.
I understand.
Yeah,
welcome to the
Sorry,
married
Megan.
life.
I love you.
But yeah, so you know, we met Tommy several years ago, and then he made it through the introduction of meeting our family, and it's kind of a.
Oh yeah, we're talking about that.
We'll have to bring this up. So some of you know us, so you can kind of picture it. Some of us that don't, maybe first time listeners or what have you. Little E will kind of break it down, lay out the format of their first date and Tommy's first introduction to our family.
Craziness.
Yeah, so night one, I remember it was already me and Frankie, that's my wife. And then I knew Megan was bringing a new boyfriend over. Yep. And there had been some past ones that I, didn't approve of, so expectations weren't high. And then in comes Tommy, and he already looked like he was not in the right place. He walked in because we were mid dinner. There was music blasting. Within 10 minutes, my best friend JC showed up. He'll be on here too, with a beer belt on.
What do y'all call it?
The what we
the
call
Truly belt?
The claw belt or Truly, whatever he had in him.
It was, yeah.
So he had six Trulies or seltzers on his little waistband. And as the night went on, there was dancing. My mom was in the living room singing, dancing. Megan and Frankie were doing TikTok videos.
This could not have been more than, a month, I think, I've seen Megan? Maybe?
Yeah, and this is your first time meeting everybody, for real.
Yeah. The entire family.
And Dad had that little box drum.
Yeah.
It's right over there in the corner.
Beating on the box drum.
So he was playing along with the music. Me and JC were yelling, screaming. There was like an electronic cat toy fish flopping around on the floor. And I look over and Tommy's just like, if you can't see on YouTube, he was just
I'm sitting there
wide-eyed
thinking
and
I'm
silent.
going to get the hell out of here, and this is not lasting.
So hang on. So all right, say that again. Make sure, get a little closer to that mic and
Hey,
break it down. What exactly what were you thinking?
This was a one and done, is what I was thinking. I was thinking I need to text someone to call me, get me out of here.
For real? Did you really think that?
I was scared, yeah. I mean, it was just out of my environment. I really never drank before meeting y'all. Not saying that was a bad thing. But everyone was drinking that night.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, everyone was drinking that night. Music was going crazy. I probably hadn't gotten drunk in multiple years, and, that was already out of my environment.
Well, now you're
that.
wasted like every weekend.
All right.
No, I'm kidding.
That's for a different podcast.
So I mean, everybody was drinking but me because I don't drink. But yeah,
But you were
he's
acting
right.
like you were. I mean, you were pounding on that drum, going crazy with the rest
He
of them.
probably thought I was drunk because when you've been sober a certain amount of time, so when you drink, it does kind of, if you have mental illness or, whatever problems, it either makes it a lot worse or makes it more subtle. But in this case, it was just him on a first date with my daughter. And then, like any father, you want to kill the person that's dating your daughter. So I wasn't being, I don't think I was rude.
No. Everyone was super welcoming, but like I said, I mean, I
think we loved every minute of it.
I met
You were
everyone
sitting
for the
very
first.
awkward.
Oh no!
Yeah, we enjoyed your awkwardness.
I would be in the videos and the shots, and everyone's going crazy. You'd see me in the back just sitting there looking scared out of my life.
So I think the good thing is that the Liverman tradition continues. That I certainly got a lot of people to drink over the before I became sober. So I've been sober 18 years. I think that's accurate, but it's maybe 19 this year. But anyhow, the point is, a lot of people that got drunk or became drunks or first time drinkers were at the hands of me. So years ago. Not saying you, not my son. I'm saying like kids I grew up with and stuff, and they always blame me for it too. So
Tommy just blamed us for it. So
yeah.
So we contributed to your
You're welcome.
your alcohol intake. So how much did you think you drank that first night?
That first night, I think I was trying to make a good impression, right? So I came over, very prepared for a nice, calm night, meet the parents, and it turned out to be anything but that. I didn't want to drink a ton and, embarrass myself, but it seemed like I was almost embarrassing myself more by sitting there doing nothing.
So this is like a all right. So take away the barriers that you were up against.
Sure.
But this is what they commonly call peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From parents trying to get their daughter's first date, or not first date, but family date to get drunk, essentially. I mean, I'm not saying I was doing that, but that's how you felt, right? Peer pressure.
Trust me, when JC was over there and he finished 6 White Claws and put them in his belt, I didn't know what I was up against, okay?
Don't worry. He was in the chair asleep by 10:30 p.m.
He was.
So how did you and Megan meet?
We were both working at the same place. I was a manager, and we just kind of hit it off after talking for a bit. Started off a little rough. The joke we always make is, after our rough beginning, I asked her out a few times, and every time she told me no. And finally I said, all right, I'm going to give up. And I asked her one last time. And she said, all right, I'm going to give this idiot a chance. She went out with me.
Finally said yes?
Yeah.
So she said no the whole time?
She said no to me 3 times in a row. 3 days in a row where I asked her, and yeah.
Was this before the beard or after?
This was, I think, before the beard, actually.
Really?
So maybe that's why.
That was why,
Yeah. Maybe it started growing by the
you
third
guys
day.
can't see. He had a beard. He was growing down to his nipples was the goal.
Yeah.
And it got down to his chest.
And you can't see this guy had hair down to his nipples on his head.
Almost. I did have long hair. Why the nipples was a spot,
I look the same, I think. Maybe a few extra pounds at the moment, but yeah. So, all right. So where did you grow up, man? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Man, I grew up in the same house, same place, down in Henrico in Virginia. I never moved. I don't remember a different house. I lived in the exact same house, and,
So you grew up in Henrico County?
Yeah.
You have a brother?
Yes, sir. Yeah, a brother. He's older than me. He now lives down here as well. So everyone's kind of in the same southern area nowadays.
And then growing up, you had your best friend David. I've met. He was part of your wedding too.
Yep,
Your best man. Awesome guy. Maybe we could have him on the podcast soon.
Good.
Yeah. And then after high school, you got into.
Hang on a minute. What kindergarten? Where did you go to kindergarten or elementary school? Kindergarten. I mean, so yeah. Just can you think of the name of the school?
Yeah, it was Ridge Elementary down in Henrico.
What about preschool?
Hang on a second. So, like, when you're in
middle school,
when you're in elementary school, was it like K through 5, right?
Yeah.
And then middle school 6 through 8, high school 9. All right, because some school districts are different. So, all right, so you're in elementary school. Was any teacher that you looked up to, or?
I can't say I did. I know one I didn't was my 4th grade teacher. I remember very vividly one day entire class failed a test, and she sat up in front of us and cried.
Terrible teacher.
The entire class.
She cried.
She cried. She said, I don't know how y'all did so bad. I tried my hardest, and y'all all failed me. And I went home, and I remember telling my mom, and all the parents flipped out on her.
Nice.
She didn't last long. But
Now, did you have a teacher that...
Hang on, wait. Hang on. So this is before SOLs or after? Or SOLs are in elementary?
No, this was before. This was probably, I'd say 70% through the year. So I'm thinking maybe most of the class was doing pretty awful for the whole year, and maybe her job was on the line.
Maybe she wasn't a good teacher. Yeah.
I was going to say, she probably they told her to step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then,
you guys
did not
turn your back on her.
So really, I guess I was thinking about, like, for me in elementary school, right? And I'm trying.
This is that's gonna be my next question.
Yeah, so this is what happened to me in elementary school was I remember, and I wonder if you had a similar incident. I mean, you're married to my daughter now, so I mean, I get it. But all that
We're honest here.
honest. But I just remember one day I got in trouble for like looking up the teacher's skirt or something like that, and I was like,
Jesus.
That's what you meant by look up to.
yeah,
Look up.
it's nap time, man. So I was like,
He wasn't sleeping.
well, you don't stand up sleeping, shit. So I'm laying on the freaking ground. Teacher's doing the rounds. I guess I kept moving with her or something. I don't know, but
You crawling on your back, like doing a little crab crawl or something?
I thought she was doing it on purpose. I mean, how did we get here?
How old were you?
3rd grade, I think.
So 8?
But hang on, I failed 2nd grade, so I had to put that out there. So,
No one made you say that one.
well, I'm saying so. I was probably 9.
Well, okay. Well, that makes a difference.
I was a year older than most of the kids.
She's like, ooh, the
There's a
old boy in the
9-year-old.
class. That's weird.
Well, I don't know how it happened, but I just remember thinking, what am I seeing here? And then, meeting with the principal and then I guess my mom later that night, or something. But
I remember you ever get the teachers who you might have a little crush on or something, and they would walk by you real quick, and you get that like brush of cold air against you, and like their perfumes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And you get like the shivers up your spine.
The only thing I remember is in elementary school, the heels on the hardwood floor clicking down the hallway.
is that good or bad for you?
I mean, it's always good. It's a nice little satisfying click.
Reminds you like the old Van Halen, Hot for Teacher. But that's,
Yeah.
There's a song that was big back in the day. Back in my day, anyway. But anyway, I don't know how we got off on that. But the only thing about this teacher was I think she was like, in her 60s or 70s.
Oh, my God.
I'm not sure.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but I was a kid, so
9 years old. Come on.
960. Yeah.
I didn't know my place. You know. And
Was it the heels or was it the?
I think it was just that I think she wore flats. She's pretty old, so
So you really had to be trying to look up there.
pretty long dress. No, I'm not sure. I think it might have been the librarian, but anyway, I don't think it was. I don't think it was the 60-year-old. Honestly, I think that makes more sense now. I think it was in the library. But anyway, I guess what I was asked was, did you have a moment like that in elementary school or junior high, like with a teacher?
Definitely not elementary school, I can tell you that. Maybe in high school, but I can't think of any teacher now that I didn't have many good-looking teachers,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think I did either. Well, I don't think I did.
I had one. She was my math teacher. Everybody was hyping her up. She was getting married. I don't know why I'm telling this. And then the next,
Well, you're human, man. I mean,
And
when I
so
did,
everyone was hyping her up, and she was super excited. She was young, fresh out of college.
wow, yeah,
And then, like, all the boys loved her, the girls loved her because she was getting married, and
that's awesome. Yeah,
and she was showing pictures of her and her fiance. And then the week after the wedding, she wasn't at school, and then she came back like after the honeymoon, we thought,
right.
but was like droopy, like bags under her eyes, looked miserable, came in like a hoodie and stuff. And we're like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And he cheated on her the night before their wedding. And she found out the day of, and they did not get married.
That is a major blow.
That's a low blow.
Wow, what the?
Well, I did have one teacher now. You mentioned that brought up a different memory. It was my senior year, and she was a history teacher.
Oh boy.
And everyone liked her. She was younger. She was all right, I mean, to be completely honest. But all the kids liked her, and there was always this rumor going around that she was sleeping with students. And obviously, I feel like the hot teacher, that rumor kind of always goes around with them, right?
Yeah.
About 2 years after I graduated, see it on the news.
Wow.
Teacher got arrested for sleeping with students.
God.
So
So you were like, what?
Definitely
Yeah,
her.
what was your problem? I mean, did
exactly, like, why wasn't I getting slept with?
What happened? Did you have her as a?
I did. I had her. I was in her class.
Yeah.
I was doing
Maybe you
great.
had too good of grades.
Yeah,
That was the influencer.
she was married too, which was wild.
Well,
So
Yeah, so we had all right, so we're going to move on to Tommy in a second, but yeah, I had so, I'm so old now that a guy I used to be a partner with, and name's Mike.
a police partner,
Yeah, police officer, I'm married.
not domestic.
Domestic partner. Not that I'm against it. I mean, and we're going to have a show about that too. That's
Yeah.
If you're an adult, do what you do, but two consenting adults, hey. Anyway, so we're just trying to
Love
preface
is
it.
love, man.
Love is love. You can't help who you love.
Tommy, Tommy loves history teachers.
He did.
they don't love me back.
She knew your history. But anyway, so a friend of my partner at the time, his daughter was a senior at the same high school, Thomas Dale. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm allowed to say that. But anyway, she did an interview on me with a certain, like she had to do a professional interview and write a paper about it or do an oral presentation. But the teacher she did that class for was still a teacher. She was a teacher that I had when I was in Thomas Dale. Mm-hmm. And when she heard the name, she's like, you interviewed Eric Liverman? He's a detective? He was like one of my worst students. and she was, I guess, kind of making fun of me and stuff. But anyway, when Mike's daughter told me about it, I said, well, do me a favor. Ask this particular teacher, I won't say her name, about this particular other student that I was in class with when I was a senior back in the 87, that apparently years later came out that she was sleeping with. So,
and she asked her?
Yeah, she goes, you ever heard of this particular student? I won't say his name. And she said, Mike's daughter said she never even spoke bad about me again or never mentioned him. Treated this particular student, treated her a lot nicer after that. So she grades
stayed quiet.
Yeah.
Stayed quiet, man. Shut her down.
Grades went up.
So I guess the rumor was true. So yeah, I mean, you just
blackmail, man.
Yeah.
Blackmail. Yeah, that's it.
Minors will do that to you, I guess.
She goes, Mr. Liverman wanted me to ask you, do you know so and so, or remember so and so? And it's like, hello.
That's bad news.
Yeah, I mean, we all got stuff, but anyway, it was pretty funny.
That was some of your detective work.
Yeah,
put into use.
Put it to use, man. Yeah,
you started young.
Intrigued, man.
Started young.
So did she.
Well, I mean, I think I'm not advocating any of this, but a lot of times you got to think you're only a couple years older than these kids at school. Particularly, nowadays you might have a 20-year-old as a senior.
Well, yeah. They have a cutoff, but yeah.
What's the cutoff?
It might be 20. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Is there a cutoff?
I think I had a 19-year-old at my school one time.
Yeah.
Same deal with different teacher. Slept with him.
I mean, can you be walking in with your ID to a club and when you're walking into high school? 21?
Be 21 with a 40 coming into school.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't say anything. You're 21.
Yeah.
There has to be. I should know, but I don't. I don't teach high school, so.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's, we're making light of it, but certainly it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be that person. Sleep with people your own age.
Yeah, sleep with people your own age.
Not that you're teaching.
I mean, seriously, particularly in high school. Yeah, we're talking about kids here, so.
Yeah.
I guess they're 18, but I don't know what the hell people do. But anyway, let's move on. So
Tommy, after high school with your history teacher.
Sure.
Did she inspire you to go to school beyond high school?
Yeah, I went to college. I got my associates in business.
Okay.
Did absolutely nothing for me.
Well, that's not true. Because you're actually
you didn't go past associates.
No, after I went to community college, when you're looking at kind of the numbers of a university and how much debt you're going to be in, a little intimidating not doing that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And after 2 years of community college, what'd you do after that?
I think I was unemployed for a solid year. I think I sat at home. I did nothing. I didn't get off my ass until I got ragged pretty hard, and I went and got
playing some World of Warcraft.
Man, I was playing some League of Legends.
League of Legends.
Yep.
Sorry.
Playing everything under the sun, staying up till 3 a.m. One day, need to turn my life around. Got a front desk job at a gym. I said, This ain't going nowhere. I need to find a different job. I started looking at other options, and slowly but surely, I fell in love. Started getting promoted. Same place I'm at now. I'm a general manager now at same company I started, I think about 3.5 years ago now.
Yeah, and we won't name it, but unless you want to.
No.
And then that's actually where you met Megan too.
Yep, same place. I mean, it almost means a lot to me at this point, the gym, more than just a job kind of.
Yeah. Because it introduced you to your soulmate, your, I don't know, annoying roommate. Yeah. That's how I would say it.
I don't know.
I had to live with her for 18 years. Come on.
Oh, I thought you meant when you were married your wife, they became your annoying
No, I'm just talking about Megan.
Not your wife.
No. Frankie's perfect in every way.
Right.
And she never annoys me.
I have to edit
ever.
this part out.
We never get into arguments. It's always my fault.
Well, so it's pretty interesting is we asked you that question about college because we pushed our kids to go to college and all that, but really what we're trying to point out is, and this is interesting because the current Virginia governor has made I think he took 90% of the state jobs that in the past. I mean, this is like last week or the week before, and he made them where you don't have to have a college degree to have these particular jobs.
Yep, I saw that.
So I think there's a big push for, we got people are seeing now that going to college is not necessarily the way to go. So the amount of money it costs, plus, I'm not exactly sure why the governor did what he did. I mean, I know why he did to make these jobs more available to more people. But I think that, we're seeing a trend of people going to trade school and doing other things aside from going to college.
Yeah,
there's a need in the country for other professions to be filled. So I think that's awesome. So the reason, Eric and I did kind of set you up, we wanted to highlight the fact that what you've done without going for a 4-year degree. I mean, I think that's awesome. That's what it says, and that has a lot to do with your intelligence, your work ethic, and all that. But you said sitting at home. What was the push that got you out of the house? Your parents, maybe?
Oh, it was definitely my mother. She would be on me 24/7 every day. I mean, it didn't matter what I was doing or where I was at. It was, hey, have you applied to jobs yet? Hey, do you have a job? It got to the point to where it was almost souring the relationship. So I was like, all right, and obviously I knew personally that I need to get up and do something, but I think that's the hardest part without a degree. At least with a degree, I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be, this, that, or the other. With
plans change.
Plans change, and even, with a business degree, if I were to get the bachelor's, it's so broad, and that's kind of why I didn't want to go for it. I can start my own business, but that seems also very daunting at first. And
well, that's what I tell, because I currently teach I've taught for 5 years, and that's what I tell kids, because not all kids, but it's a big thing where not just laziness, but just kids expect everything like in a second.
Yeah.
They expect, like, I'm not good at this, I quit, or I can't learn this math equation, I give up.
Yeah.
Because they're used to Googling everything and having it within seconds. They're used to playing video games and beating a level every 5 minutes and moving on to the next level. So it's like constant gratification. And I think school, whether it's grade school or moving on to college, and then even when you start any job, there's a learning curve you have to do.
All right.
I mean, every job has a week where you sit down and on a computer and watch videos and take a quiz.
Well, I think
whether it's safety, whether it's whatever. So I think having any kind of experience to like put a test on your calendar, or like tonight I'm going to study for this test. It helps with any job. It helps in your life, planning, doing taxes, whatever it might be. Oh, hold on. I don't know if you guys hear that. We have an alarm clock in here. Our great granny got that for us.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, there we go.
So I guess that'll be on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what the Hill's about. So you were at a point. So kids go. I mean, I'm older now, so I can see it. But when you achieve a goal, let's say you graduated high school, like, what's next?
Yeah.
Well, what's next is you got to have that next goal. So the next goal is that responsibility. That's where when we talked about on the first podcast, the pilot, is part of being on the hill is your responsibility to climb the hill, and the hill is life. And along the way, you may come to a curve or a bend in the road or crossroads. And that's kind of what you did. So you're sitting around, you got a high school, you're excited, and every kid goes through this. You think you're going to take on the world, and next thing you know is like, dang, ain't nothing out here to do. So you kind of fall into this, maybe depression, anxiety, whatever, until somebody kicks you in the butt. Like your mom said, hey, get up.
Right.
And the same thing happened to me. I mean, I graduated high school, barely graduated high school, stayed at home for a year, basically just doing nothing. I don't think it was a year, probably a couple months. And then my father and mom were like, yeah, you got 1 month to get a job or get the hell out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Be on your own. But anyway, so, I mean, that's part of the positive message. And, I think a lot of kids expect this instant gratification. And the problem is that that's not how life works, because even, this is something that's been happening for, you guys were part of it, but I saw it as an adult, where sports leagues at kids levels went from, like when you played soccer at the Y, hell, we don't keep score. We're just doing this for fun. Well, life keeps score.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, we kept score. We had little league baseball, soccer wasn't around, football.
It's the whole participation trophy thing.
Yeah, it's a winner and loser. So then, the problem with that is when there is an obstacle in people's way, they just give up rather than realizing that, life keeps score. And life is, you got one life, that's it.
Yeah.
So you've got to work at it. Nothing's gonna be given to you. So I think people are seeing that now. But so I think your story is a success story, and that's kind of why we want to point that out. So
I think one of the most difficult things that people don't understand, which I think I didn't understand, was right out of high school, it seems like the easy choice is college. You don't have to make another big decision, a job. You just kind of pick a college and move on. And I was never the greatest in school. I usually got ABs, some Cs, but it was a struggle. And going to college, same deal. I struggled. I would pass, but it was just like racking my brain every day. I hated it. I started thinking, I'm just not smart enough. I can't learn. And I think that's where I really started breaking out of my slump after that year, because I started going online, finding things that I enjoyed. And I realized I can pick up on this stuff really quick. But when I'm in class and a teacher's teaching me, about the 1982 war that I'm not interested in, it goes one ear right out the other, no matter how hard I try it. But if I, maybe turn to finance, or, maybe I turn to sales, or, something else, I can pick up on it, learn it, and memorize it extremely quick. So I think a lot of people get stuck because they go to school and, that's kind of what people think you need to be good at. You need to be able to get a bachelor's. You need to be smart enough to do this. And after those people, they'll get all that and they go nowhere because they're not smart in any other sense.
Common sense goes a long way.
Yeah, I think that's what
plus
really helps.
you get cornered in one spot.
So I wonder when you said
there's a leap you got to take to move on to the next thing, or
right. Well, and then Tommy said something about the date he didn't care about.
the what?
Remember you said it was a date on a test you were taking or a class you were taking.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you had hung out with that history teacher, if you might have done better in history.
I think you said 1982. I don't think anything was going on in 1982.
See, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't interested. I'm not sure. Maybe I was too busy looking at the teacher. I don't know.
So we're all pat. But yeah, I was just messing with you. So 82. I was in high school, I think. Nah,
maybe that's why I remember.
Middle school.
Yeah, because you graduated in
87.
87.
Yeah.
So you were.
You guys weren't even born yet, man.
Oh no, that was.
It doesn't happen. I mean,
12 years before I was born, at least.
Yeah.
Nah, 14. I guess I didn't do good in math either. I actually like math.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So yeah, no, you go ahead.
You want me to go? You want to flip?
I can go ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors. On shoot. All right, go ahead.
So
he won.
Yeah, I think we were going to lead into next question was you talking about the your interest like in money and stuff, saving money.
That was actually where I was going.
Right. So I don't know. How about the crypto market? Can you kind of, because I don't know a daggone thing about it, but I remember you talking to us about it, and then
Right.
I think most people would like to know something about crypto.
Now, does this also go hand in hand with you saying you learned stuff on your own?
Right. I think that's where it really all kicked off. Especially I had a few people who were also really into it. It's harder when you're learning from a screen, but when you know someone who's also into it, it's easier. But crypto is actually in a really interesting space right now. A lot of people don't know crypto is basically just an online money source that's unowned by anyone. So like, USD, the dollar is owned by the government, where let's say Bitcoin, anyone in the world can use, spend on anything. And there's no governing source that makes it worth more or less. It's kind of up to the people, which makes it unique in a way. And there's no more getting printed, there's a finite amount. And once it's all, kind of bought up, then no more can be bought. So it's deflationary is kind of what people say. Even right now, it's kind of going up and down, but long term, it should be deflationary, just like gold, silver, anything like that. Any resource where there's not an ability to produce more of it, it makes it more of a deflationary currency.
But that's what makes it so popular right now.
Yeah,
people feel like they have to go get it.
Correct. Yeah, people feel like they kind of need to dip their foot in, whether it be an individual or really what fluctuates is companies. I'm sure everyone's heard Elon Musk talking about Bitcoin or sending Dogecoin to the moon when he launched his thing. All kind of him joking around, but in a sense, he even his stock is almost fluctuated by the price of Bitcoin because his company owns so much of it.
Yeah.
But it's in a weird spot right now because I don't know if y'all have heard the government's trying to erase like kind of hard money.
Mm-hmm.
They're creating, I think it's called Fed Now. Is what it's called.
Yeah, they're trying to make it all tap to pay and
digital. Yep,
all digital. Yeah.
And I've heard things from, I think it was the governor of Florida. Actually, I saw a clip on. He was talking about how certain places have banned, let's say, a Big Gulp, and you can't buy Big Gulps anymore. And with electric cars coming out, certain places have. I think in the UK, they've limited the amount you can charge your car and drive. Mm-hmm. And he said once all money kind of goes digital like this and you don't have paper currency, the government can come at you and say, hey,
you can't spend right now.
You can't spend right now. Yeah, you can't buy Slurpees because that's not a necessity,
mm-hmm.
and kind of limit your bank. So when you try and scan your card, it just doesn't go through, You can't charge your card today because, the energy source is running low, stuff like that.
They're already doing that out in the West Coast.
Yeah.
So you can charge your car from 5 to 7.
Yeah.
You can do this from whatever time.
And it just keeps kind of slipping down and getting more and more like government controlled. So something like Bitcoin, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what government you're under, it doesn't matter anything, you can take it and exchange it and it's worth money,
Yeah.
So it's kind of uncontrolled. And even USD, as much as you think it's safe, I think the average currency has only ever lasted 80 years. I don't think any currency's lasted more than 80 years.
Yeah.
That's like the average lifespan where they usually switch off and go something different because it fails.
Yep.
So it's a little scary to think about it that way.
So with Bitcoin, how has that benefited you at all? The investments you made in it?
Yeah, I've done a few different. The main ones.
You don't have to get into your personal investments, but
yeah.
Like when
how much money do you have, Tommy?
What is your net worth?
When you purchased a home, did that Bitcoin or the investment in that play any role or?
It didn't, but the only reason it didn't is because I have kind of a mindset where I want my investments to be my retirement. I don't want my investment for a bit, especially when I first met Megan, and this kind of is what turned me onto this mindset. I was trading Ethereum. And at the time, I think Ethereum was worth, oh my God, I have a picture on my phone I remember I took. It was $177. Right now, I think it's worth, I want to say $1,700. So if you had bought $177 worth, now you could sell it for, close to $2,000. At one point, it was worth $4,000. But either way, it was very volatile. So it was going up very quickly. It was going down very quickly at the time. No one knew where it was. It was this new thing kicking off. I remember being out front of this house, actually, and I was talking to you and your wife, and I was with Megan, and I think I made $80 in the sense of 30 minutes. While y'all were talking, but I was buying, selling, and it kind of started consuming my life almost, seeing how quickly you can make money so fast, but you have to always be looking at it. And it kind of soured me to that because it almost was consuming my life,
Mm-hmm.
I could be out drinking with you, and I told Megan at one point, I said, you take my phone away from me, I would be wasted making trades. And I was like, this isn't smart. I'm making financial decisions with, a couple $1,000s.
Don't drink and
wasted.
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not some alcoholic. He just pointing fingers.
So
over here at
every
me.
time I'm with him, he makes me drink
And trade.
and trade my crypto. No,
for me. Yeah.
It kind of turned me onto the mindset of thinking more long term, kind of just putting it in it, sitting and waiting. If I trust it'll go up. If today I'm down 100 and tomorrow I'm up 2,000, no matter what, I'm just gonna hold it.
It's the same with guys
until retirement.
Because I did a little bit like sports betting and stuff once it got legal in Virginia.
Yep,
people were
scary.
dropping hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars a week on these football games but then these people. I understand some people are down deep, but like they would get into like tennis, and then they would get into ping pong. And then
So they start betting on tennis and
they
ping
bet
pong.
on anything they possibly could just so they could get $1.
Yeah, it's that rush, it's that adrenaline.
They're like, oh my God, you see the ping pong tournament in Hong Kong last night? It's like,
no.
And what's really scary is those people, you only hear about how much they win, right? So you'll hear, I made $200 today, I made $300 today. And same thing with crypto. But then, on the back end, they're losing $1,000 the next day, but they're not telling you that. No one wants to talk about their losses. So it makes you want to do it more and more. And it's kind of a toxic environment doing stuff like that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So all the money I have in my finances and like stocks is planning on staying there.
That's cool. Yeah, I was just curious.
money man.
Yeah, because aside from the position you have at work, you said general manager. You just recently purchased a home, so that's pretty impressive.
And a vehicle.
And a brand new vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, all that, you know, so these people are set on this mindset about, you know, having college and all. So I'm glad the governor did what he did, and I'm glad that you know, there's plenty of jobs out here that a degree only shows you're trainable, particularly at the bachelor level. It doesn't do much more than that.
Yep.
Most jobs, that's the entry level. But anyway, I'm not downing people who go to college, because some people, you know, they grow up during college, but you know, but it's not a necessity, you know. So I think that's cool, and that you're so successful, you know, without all that. I know you got an associate's. I think I left that out when I said you graduated high school. But anyway, yeah, I think it's great, and I think it's admirable, and I think, you know, a hard work ethic is what it takes. Some common sense.
Correct.
Yeah. Was it cool to think that you went to high school, got your 2 years done, worked your way up the ladder? I mean, you're hiring the people that you started as.
I mean, the craziest thing is, you know, it was a lot bigger of a difference when I looked back on this when I just bought my house. But 3.5 years ago, when I started as front desk at, you know, my job, I didn't have a car. I lived with my parents, and I was single. And, you know, 3 years later, I bought a house. I'm married. I just bought a new car. It's kind of mind-blowing to think about, you know, how down I was. I was at floor level, you know. I had no savings. I had nothing. And just in a few years from starting out at the smallest position at, you know, a local place, you can move all the way up.
Then you met the Livermans and came to the Hill, and then 180 that night.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean,
That night, that was it.
It was that night.
essentially, that is the life of the Hill, man.
Yep.
That's it.
You're climbing the hill, man. So
Yep.
it's pretty cool. That's, you know, that's kind of that what I talked about earlier is the hill.
Yeah.
Climbing the hill of life and making those investments, making those personal investments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree.
So what about, how do you motivate your employees?
That's difficult because
With that paycheck.
I mean, a little bit, you
Minimum
know.
wage.
I think the best management, and, you know, I've kind of played around with this because I've worked at quite a few locations, and, you know, when I first started, it was a very I would call it more of a military-based approach, where I was very cutthroat. You know, you have to be on time, you have to be in uniform, you have to do this, that, the other. Just make them like you. If all your staff likes you, they're going to work hard for you. You know, take the little things and kind of brush them to the side. You know, someone forgets their shirt one day, don't give them a hard time.
Make them go shirtless that day.
Send them home, fire them, you know. No, but I mean, I know where I work right now has the highest employee retention out of anywhere. We have the highest numbers out of anywhere, you know, give or take, depending on the month.
All right.
But what I'm saying is, you know, at first I thought,
that's awesome.
It's the location I'm at, you know. I was like, oh, this is a good location. Then they moved me and I do good somewhere else. And I was like, I just got lucky again, you know. And it's hard not to chalk it up to just luck sometimes and to tell yourself, you know.
Yeah, something
I'm
about
doing
you,
well.
right? You're doing the right thing.
But,
so I mean, you know, you said, you know, have your employees like you, but they also respect you.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, and it's not like, you know, they don't. So I mean, it's an old adage, but is anybody ever respect a position? It's harder to get somebody to respect the person.
Yep.
So I mean, and I've heard, and you're being a little modest about the fact that a lot of things you do for your employees, you try to help them out if they're in a bad way. Mm-hmm. Those are the things that make the difference. You know, if you're a supervisor that leads by example, people will follow you. If you're somebody's pointing fingers and making out demands, but, you know, you won't be the one to clean the toilet or something because you're the boss, that's not my job type attitude.
Yeah,
nobody's going to follow that.
It's treating everybody like a person.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
a number.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that's pretty much.
That's anything you do.
It's a life lesson.
Yeah, I mean,
treat all people you meet with respect if you can. Right.
Even piggybacking off that, yeah. I mean, I've been told that, you know, when I go, they're like, I've never seen the manager in here, you know, and clean up the bathroom. I'm like, well, don't have a guy today, so I'm doing it. And everyone's blown away by it. They're like, normally it's just trashed when no one's here. So,
yeah, I think it makes a big difference. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So Tommy Wampler, anything else you want to say, plug? Anything big going on in your life?
I mean, nope, already got married. So, I mean, next up is kids. So hopefully that'll be what's big going on. But yeah.
Which y'all just went on a honeymoon too?
We did.
Where'd y'all go?
Went to KOA down in North Carolina. That was a lot of fun down by the beach. Pretty poor weather, but I mean, there's a lot to do out there. So it was fun.
Had a cabin, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So you rented a cabin down there in, damn, what's it called?
Rodanthe.
Rodanthe. Yeah, I think there's a movie about that. Love and Rodanthe.
Yeah. Featuring Thomas Wampler. Not Thomas, sorry. Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee.
Is that your name, Tommy Lee?
Tommy
Yep,
Lee.
that's my name.
Damn,
Tommy
famous
Lee.
drummer, man.
Yeah.
Tommy
I know.
Lee.
Everyone thought my mom named me after that. And it was my brother naming me after the kid on Rugrats.
Your brother named you?
Yeah, they couldn't figure out a name for him. Mom wanted Randy. And my
Randy
dad was
Savage.
like, I don't want Randy.
I wish it was Randy.
And my son pointed at the TV, said Tommy.
Randy in the house.
Randy Wampler.
It's almost as good as Tommy Boy.
Don't get Randy. So one more thing I think we were going to try to talk about was I don't know how long we've been talking, but has to do with home security.
Okay.
You just bought a new home?
I did.
Yeah.
So when Tommy, when he got married, so I'm a retired cop or whatever, but my kids were raised to respect weapons of all types. And this is just something I want to put in there. But you came to me talking about guns and what you might want to purchase. And what did you end up getting?
I got a revolver. It's just kind of a small, simple one, but
Yeah, so you got
That's
I think it was
what
a
I
Ruger 38.
Yep.
First, you're trying to buy the Judge.
I still want the Judge. I'm gonna be honest with you. That looked nice. That might be the second gun I get.
Because
Yeah.
that's I know it shoots slugs too, but it's.
Yeah, she was like a 410 round.
Yeah.
It's like made for a small shotgun, and then
I think it will rack your wrist up.
a 44, some
Have you
type
shot
of
one?
44 mag.
No.
Mag. I mean, a 44 round, a 44 bullet. But anyway, so we went to buy it. We went together.
Yep.
And this guy Tommy was sold on the actual Judge. I don't know if we're allowed to say that on here, but I think what you
Yeah.
call makes it
Yeah, we can name
out of
we can name
Brazil.
brands.
Yeah, it's a Brazil company.
Hold on.
I don't remember.
But anyway,
Keep talking.
so Tommy's he's got just about has a receipt in his hand, and I'm like, do you guys have any ammo for this freaking gun?
Yeah, I need to
I
be able
want
to
to say
shoot
the
it.
store. And the guy was like, well, actually, we don't. And I'm thinking
It's the Taurus.
Taurus. So I'm like, how the hell are you going to buy a gun but not have any freaking ammo? Well, we can order some for you. And it's like, okay, well, if you buy a gun today and you don't have any ammo, you might as well just bought a freaking hammer or some shit or like a spoon.
Smack him around with it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a metal
Because it's not even as
device.
long as a bat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't get any
You
distance.
might as well just
on
have a bat. I mean,
Throw it at him.
it. Yeah. But then you
Throw a gun at me?
it's
like-
like $300 baseball you just threw.
people like guns kill people. No, people, you got to pull the trigger, but more importantly, you got to have
And
some,
you got to have
Gotta
some
have ammo.
got some bullets in there. So anyway, he ended up getting this Ruger 38, or was it the 357? I can't remember.
That was 38. 38 special.
38 special. So yeah, so if you buy a 357 Magnum revolver, you can fire a 357 round and a 38 round. If you buy a 38, you can only fire a 38.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so that's just the difference. Just kind of like a, well, we won't get into all this, but talking about rifles like the AR-15.
Yeah.
If you have a 5.56, you can shoot the 2.23 round. And if it's just a 2.23 rifle, you can't shoot
can't
the
do-
5.56.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of variance in the size.
NATO.
But anyway, the reason we wanted to ask you about it was, if people are watching, and a lot of times people will ask officers this, is what kind of gun should I get for home security? Should I get a gun? And if you are going to get a home defense weapon and you're unfamiliar with weapons, and this is no slight on you, is, 38 is something that's very mechanical. The cylinder spins, the hammer drops, hits the igniter, and the bullet goes off. Whereas these semi-automatic handguns that have magazines, or some people call them clips, there's a more chance for failure and stuff.
Yeah. More chance to jam.
Yeah.
And then you're having to rack the slide, get the lodge bullet out.
Yeah. Tap, rack,
Miss-
reevaluate.
There it is.
Yeah, I really want something that both, me with, coming to the range and stuff, knowing how it works, could use, as well as, my wife. So
Right. So you
anything
want
goes wrong.
right. You want a weapon that if you could have shot, could have shot the Judge, no problem.
Yep.
That 410 round, if you had ammo. But the other part is, can your wife fire the gun?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You want something that you can use that everybody in the house can use. I mean, not kids, but your spouse.
Yeah.
So
Because for me, it comes down to the bad guys aren't going to come in unloaded,
Yep.
just by assumption. No matter, and, I having a wife and future kids and my own things that I own, I don't feel comfortable without a weapon in the house because that would be my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Coming in, you're outgunned, outarmed, and then
Right.
you're the next victim on the news, and that's, I think it's okay to protect yourself. It's okay to protect your things, protect your people.
Yeah, if you're at home, so I mean, you know, when I was a cop, and most people that would break into somebody's home was when they weren't home. They kind of watch the people, they ring the doorbell, they make sure nobody's home, then they break in. But if somebody breaks in and you're home, you can only assume, and you only have seconds to make this decision, is they're here to do some harm. And, you know, if you don't have a weapon, you're pretty much at their mercy, unless the police are going to get there. But you can figure that response time's at least 8 to 10 minutes. And 8 to 10 minutes, that's a pretty long time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So, you know, what I don't know how I started this, but I maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. But anyway, home defense is, you know, whether you carry a weapon outside your home, that's a whole nother topic for another time. But, you know, home defense, certainly you'd want to defend your family, I would hope. Yeah. All people should defend, and you have that right to defend your family. You should. So,
because you don't even have a guard dog.
No, I've got a cat.
He's a little cat.
You know how aggressive he can be.
Oh, he's aggressive. He's not like me.
Yeah, and the other thing is,
which makes me sad because when your wife got him, I'm gonna say Megan, she'll be on here soon. When she got him, he was like my best friend.
Yeah, he loved you.
And then as soon as he moved away and met Tommy, I think Tommy's whispering in his little ear every night. Hey, baby. He's like, kill Eric.
Yeah, I think that you know that's what he did.
I got some of your socks. I let him smell it. Sprayed him with a water
Sprayed
bottle after.
on my underwear.
Got him upset.
Conditioned response. Pavlov's dogs.
Is that what's happening?
He can smell your underwear from my house. I mean, when I don't need to bring it over there.
When he smells your underwear or socks, they spray him with a water bottle.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
and now the result has gone from like
I'm training him.
Yeah, so Pavlov, he had the dogs and he rung the bell. Their mouth they would salivate. Well, in this case, it's Tommy's
now
cats.
Get mad.
Wampler's cats.
Wampler's
the Wampler cat.
He does not. He swats at me, hisses at me.
Wow, that's what it is.
I was like, man,
mental conditioning,
we used to be
man.
best friends.
Mental
man.
conditioning.
Yeah.
Mental conditioning.
He really
I'm
changed.
doing it to Megan now.
Well, we've butted heads plenty, so
Yeah. Didn't have to do much.
yeah. But no, we're. I will say, appreciate Tommy in many ways. You definitely changed Megan's life around for the better.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, what is this, like a praise Tommy day?
Vice versa too, honestly.
Yeah, man, he's best manager in the county and state, maybe
in the region.
I'd say in the world.
We'll say, I don't know about that. You wouldn't be on this podcast.
Just a start.
And then, you now raising a cat to come against me. So
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, so let's end this with something funny, I guess.
Sure.
What do you think?
Well, I want to say, what is your daily motivation? I know you like to work out. I know you like to, you work at a gym, but you also care about your nutrition and fitness.
Sure.
So what gets you up every day? What gets you going?
I mean, if you want the honest answer, it's money.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people get that misconstrued.
Money, man.
Well,
Is the evil patriarchy.
what is what I'm saying, right?
No, I got you. I mean, that's
The cha-ching sound effect.
I think what it does is, if you have a lot of money or enough to at least live comfortably,
That's right.
Your life is great. You can support your family. You can do all of these things. If I don't have a job, obviously, then the family suffers, the house suffers.
Yeah.
I want to have money to be able to make a good life, right? So I don't care what I go to work to do as long as it's making enough to kind of make my life better, then that's all I care about, So almost saying money is just saying kind of like family. It's kind of what gets me up in the morning to support them.
That's right.
And staying healthy. You stay healthy for your family.
Yeah, about 50-50 stay healthy, a couple Papa Johns here and there, but I work out every day, so.
Well, you're there every day.
I'm there every day. I don't have much of an excuse. Some days I can formulate one to not work out, but yeah, generally I don't have much of an excuse.
It's just consistency. It doesn't have to be perfect, but
Yep.
as long as you're doing something.
Every single day. Yep.
So, so you work at a gym where this particular gym promotes a lot of bodybuilding. I'm not going to say, we don't say the name, but I mean, I guess with that in mind, you're surrounded by people that are experts.
Yeah,
in the field.
That's the best thing, being able to, have all these people who know so much about something that, you might think you know a lot about. When you meet someone who that's all they do, they can fine tune what you're doing and really help you out. And, even with the gym, self-motivation is difficult, but when someone's sitting there like, hey, did you work out today? Hey, what are you doing today? Do you do that plan I told you to do? You really don't want to, let them down or, show anything like that.
The pressure's on.
Yep.
Well, friendly competition too.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I'm very, very competitive.
Yes.
I know you know.
We
but
all know.
With everything, I'm very competitive. So
This man with a cornhole bag.
Deadly.
Catch me in Super Mario Party.
Yeah. And, oh my.
Well, that's something we didn't even talk about. I guess
So
we'll end it
annoying.
with this. I mean, big time. Gaming is a big part of your life. We just totally left that out.
Yes.
Yeah. So you said League of Legends earlier.
Yep.
Rocket League.
Yep.
You were beating my
What's the first
My
one
ass in
thing?
the
What's the
other day.
first one called?
It's called League of Legends.
League of Legends. All right.
league.
It's really popular around the world, but I don't know, man. I am just.
And it's really its own universe because it has a bunch of. I mean, they have artists come in and make songs for the video game.
Lil Nas X was this year.
And they have full trailers that are.
Cinematic.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than movies that you watch in the theater.
So,
Yeah.
And I don't even play. I just know off of what you've showed me. It's like, this is all for a game. And it's crazy. It's really
so what
cool.
you say was this year? Something was this year?
It was Lil Nas X. He made the I forget the name of the song, but he made a song for it. Generally, it's less Americans kind of because the game's very popular across seas, like in China and stuff like that. But they usually get really popular artists to come in and make songs every year.
Oh, okay. So that was an artist you're talking about.
Yeah. He's like a rapper.
What's his name?
Lil Nas X.
Oh, Little Nas X.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was
He made that song "Old Town Road."
Sounds like a.
That's where he blew up.
Oh.
To the old town road.
Yeah.
Gonna
Yeah, I remember that song. But I mean, I guess, okay, I was just wondering. So, obviously, there's this huge industry around it.
Right.
League of Nations, right?
Legends.
Legend.
Yeah,
What the hell was it? What is it called?
League of Legends.
It's called
League of Legends.
He's called League.
Yeah, it's League.
Yeah, it's
it's
called
like
League.
this table right here. The League of Legends.
Oh,
Damn.
on
Well, I'm
the
just
hill,
curious.
baby.
All right, so then what else? You said Super Mario.
Oh, yeah. We used to
Mario
play Super
Kart.
Mario Party at their apartment. And I mean, everyone in the whole hallway knew Tommy was winning.
Yeah, they don't play with me anymore. Your wife actually, she said she would never play with me again after I won one time.
She did say that.
and now I can never get them to play with me. That was a couple years ago.
Sore losers, man.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a big difference.
They call
between-
me a sore winner when really they're sore losers.
All right, so
you nailed it right.
we'll end with this kind of theoretical or whatever. So,
Getting mad right now.
I think it's a great.
Palms are getting sweaty.
So,
Look at this
when
guy.
so remember the saying is it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
It's whether you win.
Right. So, what does that mean to you, Tommy? It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. I mean, be real. What does that mean to you? You just said it.
That means nothing to me. It's I win or I lose, and I'm going to be the winner. If
you're
I'm
not-
not the winner, then I need to improve or I need to not do it anymore.
If you're
Okay.
not first, you're last.
That's Ricky Bobby.
Yep.
Ricky Bobby.
When I'm not first, I'm mad.
So
I
I mean,
will be mad.
so for you, no kidding. I mean, it's like you want to win at all costs. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. You know, if it's something I know, like let's say golf, I know I'm not going to win.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well.
But something like cornhole, when y'all introduced me to it, after day one,
What
I said
about-
I need to get
hold
good
up.
at this.
You never played that shit before?
I had never played
No,
cornhole
yeah.
before I met y'all.
He learns quick. Now, there was that game you lost 21-0, I think, a couple weeks ago. I remember that.
Thank
Alright,
y'all
so-
for
Alright, thank
joining
you
us
guys
on
for-
the pod.
All right, so yeah, I remember that. But all right, so all right, same thing for Eric.
Okay. What's my mentality?
Yeah, so it's not whether you win or lose; it's how you play the game. I mean, people say that shit, but you have
Yeah.
an idea what it means to you.
I think I do like to win, but I think any loss is a chance to get better, just like Tommy said. I don't go into everything thinking I'm going to win every time, but I mean, if you learn from your losses and
Right.
use it to your advantage in the next way, and I always think sportsmanship, being a good sport,
Right.
during and after the game is
It's key.
key. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. This is smarter
because that can taint anything.
Yeah, so Jordan Peterson, he kind of broke that down one time, and I was just since we were talking about it, it kind of popped in my brain. Is he brought this up, and it's more of a way of saying, if you win all the time and nobody else wins or get a chance to beat you, you're the best, but nobody can beat you and never beat you at any game. And when you win, you're so arrogant and rude about it. You're never going to have somebody play with you. Mm-hmm. So and this is the last thing. He gave the example of these mice, the big mouse and the little mouse, and mice like to play, right? Just for fun. There is no other reason they do it. They just get in this cage and they like to wrestle, rough and tumble play is what he said.
Right.
And majority of the time, the big mouse is going to pin the little mouse. And this is how it is. But what they found out these studies was that the big mouse can't play with the little mouse unless the little mouse invites the big mouse to play.
Yeah, because you can't make him play.
Yep.
Right, he can't make him play, and he can only play when he's invited. So if the big mouse never let the little mouse, and these are mice, by the way, never let the little mouse win, he would never invite his ass to play.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, that's why y'all never.
that's
invite
why
me
you
to
can't play Mario Brothers.
That's
dude.
exactly why I
Let
can't.
me
Crush-
win, bro.
Let some
win one
people
game.
win,
You
man.
don't want to come over tonight? I'll let you win.
So now
All
if you
right.
win, he'd be like, I'll let you, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So next time I do win, that's not the reason. I know you're not like that.
Yeah,
Ah,
damn
no,
right.
Your mind's not built like
You
that.
know you'd never win.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
That's
cool.
deep.
That's pretty deep. Yeah. So if mice can figure the shit out, why can't humans? You know?
Yeah.
Well, you got people like Tommy over here.
Winners? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that time.
Well, hope you enjoyed your time on the Hill.
Oh yeah.
We had some
man.
good conversation.
Yeah, pretty good
It was cool, man.
conversations.
Thanks
Mike.
for coming in.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the Hill family.
And I'm sorry for anybody on YouTube. The video, we had a little video malfunction. Hope you guys stuck around, watch, listen. If you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you listen to your podcasts, we'll keep it coming. We'll have more guests. We have some scheduled right now.
Yep, we do.
I'm sure Tommy will be back too.
Surely, yeah.
For some more nonsense and
Yeah, we talk about some of the upcoming guests or not? Real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Yeah. So we're gonna have we're having a local business owner coming in, possibly a psychologist coming in talking about PTSD.
and possibly some former teachers and current teachers
Right.
who've had a background in military, music industry, things like that.
So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
So stay tuned. So give us a follow on whatever social media platform you use, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Listen to us on your podcast platforms. And thank you guys for listening to The Hill.
See you next time.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to On the Hill. Like, subscribe, and follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. See ya.